Hi. Today I'll be discussing the quirks and tics of Asperger's syndrome. And when I was a kid, I used to not like bright lights and loud noises used to really bother me. But when I was a kid, I was heavily into isolating with my action figures and playing Battle Wars by myself. I didn't have any friends. I wasn't very social. And I know a lot of Asperger's children are the same way that I was. And I was only 5 years old. And I was diagnosed as mentally retarded. And this was back in 1989. And I did have a hard time getting along with other students. I always got made fun of and I didn't understand why. I had to repeat the same routine. I could never handle change. And that is one thing with people with Asperger's. They cannot and will not handle change very well. And even to this day, 37 years old, I still can barely handle change. It's very difficult for me. Changing a relationship, changing places of living, jobs, partners, friends. I've never liked change. It's like death to me. But that's not really the topic I'm going to discuss today. The topic I'm going to discuss today is Asperger's and violence and how it relates to early childhood. Like when I was a kid, I grew up watching a lot of Arnold Schwarzenegger movies, Rambo movies, Die Hard. And I was very big on violent video games as a kid, and it used to get me excited as a kid. I mean, I knew that it wasn't necessarily real when I was a little kid. While other kids were watching Saturday morning cartoons, I was watching a lot of action movies, and that's what got me off as a kid. And with that said, it caused alarm at the schools when I was a kid because I always drew guns all the time. And the teachers thought that I was going to shoot up the school when I was a kid, quote unquote. Which I never planned on doing. I was only 7 years old. But I did get bullied a lot to a point where I could see why somebody might say that I could actually snap and lose my temper, which I did come close to doing, and I did get in quite a few fights. But when I was a kid, though, the violence in the movies actually aroused me sexually. And I don't say this in a joking way, I actually say this in a serious way. I don't know why. I know it's because subconsciously I'm into BDSM or because I'm a masochist maybe, I don't know. But sexually it would turn me on when I was a little kid, and I didn't know that it was sexual when I was a kid. I used to be puzzled by it, and I used to wonder what it was that made me feel that way. And my mom used to get mad at me for rewinding the same scenes over and over again. There was a scene in Die Hard where Bruce Willis, the final shootout, Alan Rickman says, "Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker." And Bruce Willis pulls his Beretta out, taped to the back of his head, and he shoots Alan Rickman in the shoulder, then he shoots Dennis Hayden, Eddie, in the forehead. And Eddie makes this sound, and he used to get me excited when I was a kid. And mind you, I'm not gay or anything. I love women. I've always been attracted to women only. But violence in films always turned me on. I got into Faces of Death, documenting reality, all kinds of sick and twisted stuff, rotten.com. I'll show you the scene that I'm talking about so you know. This is one of my favorite scenes of all time. The scene makes me ejaculate. And then another scene is the end of Scream 2 that always makes me ejaculate. Here, I'll show it to you guys so you know what I'm talking about. Favorite scene of all time in a movie. Fucking gets my juices flowing. Every day I wake up, I masturbate to this scene, and it helps me not worry about having a girlfriend. And even right now I'm getting a hard on. It's hard for me to contain myself. I have to go home oftentimes to masturbate to this scene, because that's how dysfunctional I am. the other scene I'll show you. I mean, not to be overly blunt, but you know, I have troubles with relationships and the kind of people I've been with, and I feel like I've never been understood, and that I'm a completely different breed of my own. I mean, I can get along with somebody sexually just like that, but mentally, I can't. I just can't do it. I'm in a whole other world than they are. I'm not the same. I'm different from the rest of the world, and I know I am, and I know I always have been from the time I was a little boy. Nothing's gonna ever change that. Here's my other favorite all-time scene from the movie. And oftentimes I do masturbate to this too on a daily basis while I look at pictures of girls on Instagram. That's how I, get off. That's where my sex life is, because before that I was having sex with prostitutes. I was going to massage parlors, and I did it on almost a daily basis, and I spent all my money, and I'm on a fixed income. I could barely afford it. I pick up homeless girls off the street, bring them back to my apartment, have sex with them, and I even caught STDs from it. I caught syphilis. It was horrible. I wouldn't wish that pain on my worst enemy. You gotta learn from your mistakes eventually, and it's time to, grow up, and this is the only alternative I can think of. I don't know what else I'm gonna do, I mean, I can't keep paying somebody to have sex. And when I had a girlfriend, she only had sex with me 10 times in 2 years, and I hated her for it, and to this day I still hate her for it. And yeah, anyways, this is my second favorite scene.
Now he's come back.
Yeah, I gotta rewind it because
She did? I don't know. Now he's come back.
Whoa!
Just in case.
I gotta rewind that again, I'm sorry. This scene fucking makes me come every time. I can't explain the urge. All of a sudden I get hard and I can't control myself. And I know it's gonna be weird, I know I'm gonna get judged for it, but I don't give a fuck. This is my life. I know there's others out there that are like me who are going through the same thing. And my goal is to help those people that are like me, not to help the mass majority of people, because I can't even stand people, to be honest. I hate people. And that's the honest to God truth. So here you go.
She did? I don't know. Now he's come back.
Whoa! I want to lick her
Just in
forehead,
case.
bring her back to life. So anyways, yeah, that's what my life is like. I had a horrible time in high school, I had a horrible time in grade school. I've had a horrendous life. And I'm going to go into detail about everything that's happened to me so that the world knows. And I want to help out those that have been through what I've been through. Those that are the forgotten, the voiceless, not the mass majority of other people, because the world just doesn't understand. The world's evil. It's not tolerant, and it's not understanding or appreciative. So, with that said, I'm going to upload these. Let me know your comments.